I am Shona Stephenson, the race director of Brisbane Trail Ultra, and today we have Antonio Martinez Perez with us, who was the 2021 Spartan Trail World Champion for the trail running event. So thank you for coming and welcome, Antonio.
Thank you. Hello.
So Antonio is all the way over in the south of Spain, and it's really funny that he says he's only just woken up because it's 8:30 in the morning there, and that will be a sleep-in for me.
Yeah, it's a bit weird this time difference, but yeah, we made it.
Well, thank you so much for chatting to us. I really appreciate it. Antonio, you've had an amazing start to 2022. I followed you on the first race, and you were first place overall at the Spartan Trail World Championship for 2021. But the first race that you entered was Trans Gran Canaria, which is in the Canary Islands. You placed third there, and then you've just placed second in Patagonia Run, which is amazing. And I saw you had an awesome fight there with another one of the Spartan Trail World Championship trail runners. And then you've just made it onto the Spanish trail running team. So well done. What an amazing start to the year.
Thank you. Not bad.
Not bad. So tell us, how did you get into trail running?
I could say that I started quite early playing sport. When I was a kid, I just loved to be in the streets, just playing. I tried football, athletics, basketball, and then orienteering. I don't know if you know the sport, but it's like it's not a big sport, but it's like you run in the mountains with a map, and you have to visit some controls the faster you can. And I just love orienteering, so I just did that for, I don't know, maybe 15 years or so. I just was in the national team, and I focused a lot on that. But there was a point that I felt that I couldn't improve anymore, that I put all my efforts there, and then I needed new motivation. So during this orienteering off-season years, I tried some trail running races, and I just really love it as well as orienteering. So when this motivation in orienteering just was decreasing, I said, why not try to give it a try in trail running? So in 2019, I started putting the focus there, and then it was a great year because I travel a lot. I compete in big races. I get into the national team. So after this first year, it was really amazing. And then I decided to stay, and also got some sponsors where I could have some money to dedicate to trail running. So I just keep on there and until now.
That is amazing. So just to clarify, you only got into trail running in 2019?
Yeah, but in orienteering, it's like you have to train physically a lot. So I have this base to transfer in trail running. So it wasn't that difficult, this change of sport, because in orienteering we run in the mountains as well. We don't climb big mountains, but we run off track, and then we are used to run fast and so I just did some small changes in the training, but it worked out quite well. So.
That's amazing. So what sort of orienteering did you do?
There are three distances. That is a sprint, that it takes about 15 minutes. Then the medium distance, that is about 40. And then the long distance, that is about 90 minutes, the winning time. So yeah, it's a bit, I have to increase a bit the volume in the training to do this big step to the marathon, because normally we run 4 hours in the marathon, but it wasn't that difficult, I would say.
How did you transition from only 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, and 90 minutes to up to doing a marathon? How long did that take you?
Not much, because I was training a lot of hours during the week, and I put a lot of kilometers. So it wasn't that big. I just increased maybe the long runs or the intervals a bit more, but the base was quite the same, because in orienteering, in 7 days of the week we train 6 days physically and 1 technically. So I just increase a bit this volume, and then I always love to run, and for me, like, to spend more hours in the outside, it was just it wasn't difficult.
What have been your biggest events so far, considering that 2019, 2020, 2021, like 2 years of that were COVID years? Like, were you still able to race over in Europe?
And in the beginning of this trail running career, is like I was this kind of runner who didn't like to stop for eating or for drinking. So I had some problems in the first races, because I didn't want to lose time there. And then at the end of the race, I was just really tired, and some of them I just finished almost walking. So it was tough in the first races, because in orienteering we don't used to eat anything, and then in trail it's different, because if you run more than 2 hours, you need to eat something, and then I had to improve that if I wanted to be a good runner, and yeah, I did that.
The food is all of it for ultra racing, but you are like on this edge where you potentially didn't need it, but now you've had to train for it. So how do you break up your race nutrition?
It depends how long is the race, but normally I try to eat like 60 grams of carbohydrates per hour, and then it depends on the heat, but normally if it's warm, about 1 liter of water, or water with salt, salt, yeah. Is it salt?
Yeah.
And if it's not that warm, I just take 500 milliliters of water per hour. So I try to eat quite many times, like small globes, is it called like this, during the race, like every 15 minutes or so, I try to eat something or to drink something, so my stomach is working the whole time. And I realized that if I do that, I can reach the last part of the race with more energy, and it's normally where many runners lose a lot of time there. So if you have some extra energy there and you haven't hit the wall yet, then you will overtake some people for sure. Before the race, I just try to eat a lot of carbohydrates as well, but nothing special, like rice, pasta, potatoes. 2-3 days before a race, I just try to eat like 20% more than normally of these carbohydrates, and just rest a lot and be ready for the race.
Do you have a routine to eat something before the race, or do you race on an empty stomach?
No, I just like to have breakfast. I normally eat porridge, like porridge. In Spain, It's not so common, but I eat it with some fruit and also some protein powder, but not much. And just that, maybe 40 minutes before a race, I take a coffee or something like that, because it has been shown that it can increase the 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 performance. Yeah, yeah. So I never drink coffee except when I compete. So I think it helps me. Like it gives me like it keeps me awake. And
so it's definitely the only performance enhancing drug we're allowed.
Yeah. Yeah. I take also some gels during the race, and it's like this caffeine. I don't know. It's not much, but as I never take it, so it helps me a bit.
When I raced, because I love coffee, if I know I have a big race on, I stop drinking coffee 2 weeks beforehand, and then I have it on race day. And what was your biggest achievement or event race results so far?
Maybe it is World Champs in Argentina 2019, and I was 7th there, but not just about. I mean, I don't think the result was the most important there. It was the attitude I had to prepare that championship. That I did some attitude training camp, and I was really focused on that race, and I'm really happy the performance I had there, because I had everything in control. I felt strong. I take care of the nutrition part, and I was there in front fighting with the top runners. So it was really great to be in a world champion and be there, like, in the top positions.
I remember also maybe one of my best results. It was similar, where, you know, maybe I only finished 6th overall, but it was also my first race where I'm racing against all the internationals, and it showed that I could also do it. So do you feel that because you raced well and you were still coming into the event, it was only 2019, that it proved to you that you can mix it with the big guns?
Yeah, exactly. I think because I started quite late in trail running, I didn't exactly how my level was. So in this kind of world champs, it's like, do you realize your real level is? And that gives you confidence for the future. And in my case, as I've been training not that much in trail running, I think, or I thought there was a big room of improvement there. So that championship, I think that was kind of a point where I realized, okay, I want to keep on in this sport and keep on improving as well, to see if I can improve that result and I can be even more high in the results.
Do you think that, like, world championships, or giving athletes like yourself the opportunity to compete against the world, is probably the fastest way that athletes can improve?
It depends on the people, because there are some good runners as well that they don't compete in world champs, because there are many races around the world, and some sponsors, they want to have you in his or in their races. So I don't know, it depends on the people, but for me it was really nice to be with the Spanish team. It was really a good experience. For me, like, be with the national team gives me a plus to keep on improving. And this year we have the World Champs in Thailand in November, so I have to be there as well, running and having a good result. What is special this event is like it will be the first time that there will be like short race, like it's about 18K, then there will be a marathon, a vertical K, and a ultra race. So there will be 4 races, and it will be the first time, because in this World Champ it has been like 1 year marathon, 1 year ultra, 1 year marathon. So the first time it will be all the races together. So I think many people can have an option to go there because there will be more places. But it has been cancelled like 2 times. First because COVID, and then the year after that, also the situation there wasn't that good. So I hope that this year is the good one, but you never know.
Talking about Spartan Trail World Championship, Martin Bostrom, he's contacted me and wants to come down to BTU. He might be coming down. I don't know if he is, which will be really funny. But I saw footage of you guys racing Run Patagonia together. So what was it like racing, Martin? Tell me how that race played out for you.
Yeah, it's a big competitor, and in Patagonia we had a nice fight. We were together the whole race until the last 2K, where he attacked me and I couldn't answer anymore. But before that, we were like trying to run away from each other, and none of us could do that. But then at the end, I think the terrain, when it's like flat or a bit easy downhill, I think he's a bit faster. So I try to use my cars in the uphills and in the technical downhills, but I couldn't run away at all. So at the end, he had some more power and he just took it. But it was a nice battle, and it has been like this, like this year and the last year, where we were fighting for the victory of the Spartan World Trail Running League. And it was like one race he was in front and the other was me, and we were swapping that. Well, not first position, because sometimes we were second or third and fourth, but we were always there, like having a good rivalry.
That's awesome. I could see in the footage that you guys were having fun. It looked but you were really serious, like it was a serious race on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like we are friends. In fact, since we were the 2 first runners the last year, it's like always they put it in the same room, and we are friends. But then when we are competing, when we have the number in the t-shirt, it's like we go for the win, and and yeah, and we fight until the end. It's like we want to show a good performance and to try to beat the other guy. So that's I think that's good. Like we compete, we have a good rivalry in the race, but then after that it's like we can go for a beer, or we can just go there like as a friend, and then it's good.
That's awesome. That's an awesome thing about trail runners, is that they have a shared experience and a shared battle. And
like the atmosphere in trail running is really good, and that's one of the things that I fell in love. Like people are so friendly, and if you need a hand, they will give you. And I think it's hard to see that in other sports. Like there are more rivalry, and here is like if I have to stop because somebody got injured, I'm gonna stop. Or if somebody doesn't have a gel or some drink and I have more than I need, I'm gonna give it to them. So I think it's a good sport, and that's something that we should keep, like maintain that essence.
I agree. I think especially as we're out in the middle of nowhere, and Trans Gran Canaria was pretty remote. If someone did fall off one of those cliffs or have us to stack somewhere, we really do have to be there to help them out first. I always also say that how you say salt tablet, salt. I carry extra salt tablets or extra electrolytes. And so I have an extra bag so I can give them out to people who need them if I find them cramping at the end of a race.
Yeah. Even people think that the top runners are fighting for the victory, but they are quite friendly if something happens, because there have been some serious problems in the mountains, and that if you act fast and you help the guy, you can save some life or so. So I think we have to be really aware what is happening around and really help the others.
I was over in Gran Canaria, and we met at breakfast. And and you said to me just passing that you wanted to come down under to Australia. And did you think then and there on the spot that you were going to send the email, or what made you decide that you were going to contact me to come down to Brisbane Trail Ultra?
I have always wanted to visit Oceania, and this year, since Brisbane was part of the Spartan league that I was doing, so I won last year, and then I did it well in Gran Canaria. So after meeting you, I say I'm gonna ask why not, if I have the chance to go there, even if it's a long travel. I really would like to go there. I think it's the only continent that I haven't visited yet, and I want to see what you have there. So the trail is the Brisbane Trail race is like the excuse, or I don't know if it's that the correct word. It's like it's the main reason, but also like the culture and everything you have around. It's like I want to see with my own eyes.
The race itself, we start like in like a small mountain. I'm saying small mountain because it's Australia. It's not, big mountain. The highest mountains there, they're not mountains. They're like 280 meters high is all you have to go over. So we start in a forest, and then we finish down at the Brisbane River.
Well, I don't think you can say the difficulty of the race because of the climbing, because you can run faster that race. So even if it's a bit shorter than I'm used to, I think it will be really tough to keep that speed the whole race. And an 800 climb can be a lot if you are running fast. So yeah, I think it will be really interesting, because maybe I will have to do some more fast workouts to be ready for that race, to do some athletics intervals and so on. So let's see. I'm really looking forward to it.
I think the time is maybe, the winning time last year was maybe 2 hours and like 2 minutes or something. So just over 2 hours. And that was by an Australian national steeplechase representative. That year, because we were part of the World Championship, it attracted really good runners. And so then there were so many, about 6 or 7 of the male runners broke the record, and we're all under like close to that 2 hour mark. So I can't wait to see what you guys can do.
Yeah, let's see if we can run under 2 hours. That would be awesome. For 30K 800 climb, it's quite fast. You have to run under 4 minutes per K. Well, you have miles, I think, but it's really fast, I think. And also depends a lot on the terrain. If it's gonna be wet or muddy, or I don't really know. I have seen some videos, but maybe it depends on the weather forecast that week. But if it's dry, I think we can run quite fast. We will see.
The course that you're on isn't so bad. Like it's not as crazy as the videos that we've been putting up.
Okay. Yeah, I will be ready for everything.
The last 8 kilometers are pretty much downhill as well, but like on maybe pathways, and you even run past like restaurants and cafes, and there could be like pubs where people are drinking beer and they cheer you on.
Well, that will be amazing, like to have these people cheering, but it will be hard not to stop with them for a while. So.
We finish at the top of Kangaroo Cliffs. We have a stair climb at the top, and we've just announced that Sunto are also giving out a watch for that.
I have taken part in some races where you have like a prize for the first K, and people are crazy to take that prize, and then they blow up after that, and they finish walking. So let's see what happened in Brisbane.
So we have a Red Bull climb in it as well. So what happens is you run 10 kilometers, you have a checkpoint, and then maybe 800 meters later after checkpoint, there's a climb, and then there's also another prize for that one too, and it's called BTU Red Bull Climb. So we've got 2 King of the Mountains or Queen of the Mountain style events in the race.
That's nice. I think it will be interesting. Like maybe some people will go for that instead of the race if they have a chance. And I think if you go for that, it's hard to. If you are going for the whole race, it's hard to beat these guys who are running for this prize climbing. So it will be interesting to see what happens.
It's super fun. Look, I've invited Sarah Alonso Martinez down as well, and I'm taking you out to Tangalooma Island to do the dolphin feeding, and then I'm going to take you to like Walkabout Creek, which is a local wildlife park where you can see the kangaroos and echidna and snakes, of course. And what was it? And yeah. So what are you looking forward to the most? Seeing Australian wildlife or racing?
The interesting thing will be both of them. I can't pick one because I love like visit race after or before the race. So I think you have a lot of different things to show me that I haven't seen yet, and the wild animals, I think they are quite nice to see, and I'm gonna really love that travel. Probably it will be the travel of the year because it will be exotic and new for me. And I don't know what I'm expecting more, but I think every day will be awesome. So yeah, just a month, almost a month left to have that experience. But probably I think the animals will be like impact me more because I haven't seen that from real distances, just in videos, and I think it will be quite good and scary because I'm not playing with the snakes, and even in Spain they are not dangerous. If I see one, but now it's getting warm and you can see some in the roads, it's like it's quite scary for me. So, you have I think more species and more poison snakes. Yeah. Let's see.
It's really funny. To be honest with you, on the course that you were running on, I took my dog walking, or I was actually running. I used to be personal trainer, running coach, and I had a running coach client with me, teaching her how to run, and my dog ran over the snake. Yeah. And my dog was on the other side of the snake, and I see the snake, and then I had my client with me, and my dog is a very well-trained dog. Tell my dog to stay over there, and then I get my client safely around the snake. And it was around the first track you go up. It's called Python Track.
Yeah, but now it's like it's almost autumn season, so I guess they are disappearing during this time of year.
Or they are trying to find a nice warm spot on the track to heat up.
Mm-hmm. And when you are like running or walking around this track, you carry something just in case something happens, like some antidotum or
in your mandatory gear. you have something called 10 centimeter snake bite bandage. Yeah, you can pick them up from chemists in Australia. And so if you're ever bitten by a snake, you just wrap it on your leg. You know, you're a teacher, aren't you? You do first aid courses, and you just wrap it. You'll be fine. I'm just scary. I really am just scaring you. I haven't.
Have you ever been bitten by a snake or?
No. Hardly.
So then I'm calm.
Maybe on Facebook, I've only ever seen like one person put up, like, you know, I have lots of friends, but in, you know, the 10, 13 years I've been on Facebook or Instagram, I've only seen one person put up an actual snake bite on, you know, on Facebook. If you think of all your friends, how many people have been bitten by a snake? It's not that many, is there? I can't think of anyone.
No one. Yeah. But it's scary still.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
So 2 weeks prior to racing the Brisbane Trail Ultra, you were racing Lavaredo. So what distance are you racing there?
I ran the marathon last year, but since I'm going to run in Brisbane in 2, I decided to change for a 20K. That is only, it's 1 hour 30 minutes, the winning time, more or less. So it will be enough to recover, I think. I think Sarah will be, the case of Sarah will be worse because she will be running the marathon in Mont Blanc. So I have, I decided to run the short ones to be ready for the Brisbane 30K.
I was going to ask you, how do you think you're going to recover, like your strategy? But if you were racing only an hour and a half, like 90 minutes, it's not so bad. I was thinking about you. But if it's only 90 minutes, your strategy and your focus is BTU, therefore you are doing short one at Lavaredo.
Yeah, but normally if I run a marathon, I spend like 2 or 3 days like with the bike without impact or maybe just resting, and after the 4 or 5 days I start training normally again. But I just take it easy the days after the race to have a good recovery, and I also go to the physio, and I try to eat well during that days after the race, so I get a better recovery. And also I think if you are prepared for the race, the more you train, the better you recover. So right now it's like I'm having a lot of consistency in the training, so I have a good recovery during the seasons, during the daily training. So I think it will be fine.
Yeah, that's a good tip. Jumping on the bike for 4 days. I've always jumped on a bike, you know, maybe a day or so afterwards, but never for 4 days. I never probably really given myself that time to have full rest, because usually by Thursday you might feel better, and so you on the bike for 4 days is perfect. It makes sense.
And in my case, I like the bike, and we have a lot of nice roads around Alicante. So I just take it, and I just have a reset of mind and of body, and then I just start running again after 4 or 5 days when I feel ready. So I think that's it's good if you can combine both things.
So how much cross training do you do in your everyday? Tell me what else you do other than running.
The bike, normally I take it after April or so when the weather starts to get good for biking. And I take it normally once or twice per week, depends on the volume of kilometers. And also it's like I have a plan where I train almost every day, but if I feel like more tired than normal, I just take the bike, and it feels really good to recover. And a part of the bike, I just go also twice to the gym for strength training. That I didn't really like it, but I think it's quite useful to avoid injuries and also to gain some strength to run more economic and have some more power in the legs. So basically that. But if I'm injured, that I haven't been much, but if I'm injured, I also like to go for a swim.
I think that was the other reason why I thought getting you guys out to Tangalooma Island would be really good for your recovery, because I would quite often get into the ocean after I've had like some big races. So hopefully you can get in the ocean. It's not too cold for you.
Yeah, we can be good to have a swim there. But yeah, it's like the more I like is running, and I try to spend a lot of hours there. It's like I normally per week I train like 12, 14 hours per week. So yeah, mostly that of running, and if I feel a bit tired, it's like I put the bike some days, but not that much. Like maybe one day per week, we could say.
Follow a training program, but you're not strict on yourself with that training program. So in other words, if it says run, you don't feel like you have enough energy, you will bike instead. Like you're happy to mix it up and not overtrain yourself if you're too tired. You manage your fatigue level.
Before starting the week, I talk with my coach and we have a plan. But then depends on how the week is going or how I feel. It's like we are quite flexible to change some small things or big things if something big happen. But normally they are quite small things, and I try to do what the coach gives to me. But if I feel that I'm more tired than normal, then we can swap that season or change that training for another day or do another thing. So I think the key of the training is to have consistency, like to train every day and avoid injuries. That's the most important. Doesn't matter at all if you do like 2 times per 30K kilometers interval, or if you run 6 times per 1K kilometer interval. I mean, of course it matters, but it's not. I think it's not the most important. And for many runners, what they are missing the most is like to have this continuity during every day, or during the weeks or months or years even.
You say that a big part of your programming is injury prevention. So what injuries have you had in the past?
Only one, I would say. I had some problems with the iliotibial band. I don't know if you know that. It's near the knee. And
yeah.
I had
band.
Yeah, iliotibial band. Yeah, I think it's quite common in the runners, and it's a difficult injury because you don't know how it is improving, because you don't see it's not like when you twist your ankle that you see it's swollen and then the inflammation is decreasing. But in the iliotibial band, it's like you start running without having pain during 20 minutes, and then in the next 5 minutes you can even walk. So it's hard to see the improvement and I had this injury for 6 months, where I visited like 5 or 6 physiotherapists, and it was a bit hard because like every physiotherapist said one different thing to recover. So at the end I didn't know what to do, and I just tried to look for information, and I just wrote down what was working. I was trying different things to feel a bit of recover, and then at the end I don't know what happened, but it just went away. But it was really frustrating because it's not like a normal injury where you see like how it is healing. Here is like I could run like every day for 20 minutes without any pain at all, and after 20 minutes I started to feel something, and if I don't stop, then I had to come back walking home. So yeah, that was the only injury I had, luckily.
Like you started like trail running in 2019. When did you get that injury?
It was in 2020, and it was 1 month before the pandemic started. So for me, it was kind of good to have it in that period because the running season was canceled and then we were locked down at home. So it was like I haven't that rush to recover. So I just take all the time I needed, and then I try to do some exercise and everything. And after 3-4 months, then I started to run again, but it didn't go away as I expected. But yeah, at the end, yeah, after 6 months, it just disappeared. But I was lucky that there were not many races, because if there were some races, maybe I wanted to recover faster, and then I will have run that races, and then it will get worse. And yeah, I think I was lucky that it was like during the pandemic. So, and I'm sure that many people who will listen this interview, they will have had these problems. I just say that just take it easy, and at the end, even if it doesn't seem so, it just go away.
Started after I finished my first half marathon, I had it, but I decided to start trail running, and then it just went away. But I think but I think it just built up my leg strength, and that was enough. And maybe for me, it was the continuous road running, the continuous repetitive strain impact on my body. And so I switched from that to trail running, and then it went away.
How long did it take to heal it?
I raced 2 weeks later.
2 weeks. Wow, yeah. So you are this kind of person that with 2 weeks, yeah. That's nice.
It was funny, even less, maybe 3 days, because I iced my knee for 3 days and it's gone. Yeah.
So that you were lucky, because I can tell you that this injury is a nightmare. Like, yeah. If it didn't disappear in the first week, it's like it will take a bit longer than you want.
The heel drop, I know, can make a difference as well.
Yeah, the drop is important. Yeah. I also try different kind of drops, but it depends a lot why you have that injury. Like it can come because of the seat, or because of the, I don't know the name in English, but it can come because of many parts of the body, or because you are running bad technically and you like put the knees too close to each other, and it's hard to say. Like there is not like one solution for that. It's like you have to look for the focus and then just work that, because even if you are weak if your muscles are weak, maybe you have to work the strength. Or in my case, you said that like the uphill were good for the iliotibial band, but for me, the mountain was really bad. In the downhill, this eccentric running, it was like where I had more the pain. So I just went for a flat running every day.
Yeah, I agree. It's also your biomechanics. We say biomechanics, that makes the biggest difference. Yeah, it's a big one. But it is true. It can come up from your ankle and your shin, and it can run on the outside as well. Yeah, and of course, if your knees are going inwards, it then puts more strain on it. Yeah. So what is your favorite thing to eat after an event?
After an event, I don't know, maybe some fat food. Like I don't eat fat food during the daily life, but after an event, it's like kind of a prize if I win it, if I win or if I do well in the race, or if or a prize if I do bad. So I try to have some awards after the race. So some pizza, some hamburger, some this kind of food where I don't take it during the normal life. So I think that's quite good, and it tastes even better if you don't.
Yeah. We will have pizza and beer waiting for you.
Oh, so that will be awesome. I will be running even faster to have that.
What are your other races like on the World Championship this year? So you've done Trans Gran Canaria, you've done Patagonia Run, you're about to do BTU. So what's your next one after Brisbane Trail Ultra?
I want to run some of the Spartan League, maybe in Sweden or in Scotland, and also the shortest race of UTMB, that is OCC, is 55K. Is the only race that I have quit during these 3 years. Here I ran it and I ran out of energy after 4 hours and I couldn't finish. Even walking, I was just empty. So I want to give it a try again this year. And yeah, then I will see the calendar because there are some really nice races around, even in Spain or in Europe. So in Italy, I really like to go to the Alps. So yeah, I have to check the calendar, but like 2 or 3 more of the Spartan World Trail Running League, and then this UTMB race and some others. I will see.
So have you planned out next year yet?
I like to have a plan, but 2023 is too far away. Let's see how this year ends, and then I will decide.
So talking about focusing on the present, are there any mental toughness tips that you can tell our listeners?
I think the mental part is a really important part of an athlete, and especially in the ultra, where you are gonna have a bad moment. So I can't say a tip at all, but I can give you an example, like in Gran Canaria, where I was first. It's like I got lost in the first 2K of the race with another 5 or 6 athletes. We were lost like 5 minutes with 2 Kenyan guys and some other good athletes, and I was the only one who finished well in that race, because it's like people were so stressful, like, we lost the race already in the beginning. They tried to run faster to overtake that time that we lost, and I think I was the only one that I stayed calm and I tried to think positive and have a good attitude. And I just think that, yeah, I've been training so good to be there, and I did just a reset, and I just ran as nothing would have happened. And at the end, I was catching up a lot of guys, and I couldn't believe that I was in front. And I think it was all about the mental part. And I think it's like in trail running, where you spend many times in the mountains, it's 100% sure that you are gonna have some bad moments. So the way you solve them, I think it will indicate the success of your race, and especially in ultra, where many things can happen, many things.
Oh, that's awesome. That even makes your third place at Trans Gran Canaria even more special.
I couldn't believe when I reached the podium, but I just wanted to run well and forget what happened there, and I think it was mentally the best race I have had in these 3-4 years. So that gives me confidence and show me the strength of the mind that forget about what happened, like and do your own race, and then everything can happen.
Definitely my special tips that we can give our listeners. So what training are you doing today?
Today I will do an easy run because this Sunday we have an important race in Spain. Well, in the world. I don't know if you know Segama. I haven't never run that race, and it's awesome. Like there are some videos on internet where there is a corridor of people cheering, like many people. It looks like a Tour de France or something. It's incredible, and this year it will be my first one, and I prepared quite well for that, and I want to experience that race, and it will be really special. I think that's why I'm doing an easy run, because I like to do a good tapering for the race, so I decrease a lot the kilometers before a race.
I think people don't realize that Spain is the biggest trail running country in the world. You have the most trail runners in Spain than any other country.
Yeah, probably. It's like we have a lot of mountains, and people love to be outside and running, and also the weather is quite good to do sports, and the sport is what I'm seeing is increasing a lot. It's like in this Segama there are 500 number beats, but to get half of them are for the elite runners and half of them are for the popular runners. And in these popular runners there are like, I think, more than 10,000 people who apply for that lottery to get a number. So it's insane. Like many people want to run that race, and there are many races that they are like this special. Maybe not that big as Segama, but there are many races. So if you Australians, you have a time for coming here, I think you will enjoy. And Shona, you can say like in Gran Canaria was really nice as well, the atmosphere and everything. So it's like that in most of the races here.
Oh, I loved going to Spain. The people in Spain, they have a really cool energy about them, like really positive, and it just feels like a really happy place. And you can understand why you guys make such good athletes.
Yeah, I think, yeah, it's like when you are used to something, you don't realize like you are like that. But maybe, yeah, because I have traveled a lot when I was running orienteering and also now. For example, when I was in China, I'm sure that they don't realize that they live a different culture than we have in many aspects. Or that was also a good story. Like last weekend, I was in Segama looking for visiting the course, and 4 Kenyan runners came to there because they are gonna race that Segama also, and it was really great, like to have this experience with them, because I realized that we have a different life, and we didn't realize until you have it in front. It's like they go for a run without watches or without food and without anything. They don't have almost even clothes or anything, and they are always happy with a smile. They just love to run, be there, and you have this feeling that they are happy people and they don't have nothing. So I think that was really fulfilling to have this experience with these guys. His genetics is awesome. I've been lucky to train with them, and they climb like planes. They are flying. It's amazing to see how they run. So I don't want to be dramatic, but it's like sports has many positive things, and one of them is like to visit or to meet different people or cultures, and I think Australia will be a good experience because of that as well. Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity. I really appreciate, and I think I'm totally sure that it will be like the travel of the year, and it will be amazing. So thanks for the opportunity to be part of this as well.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're so lucky that Spartan Trail World Championship actually like helps us to support you. Like without them, their backing, it would be possible. So we're so lucky to be part of the champ.
Yeah, so see you in like
July.
in a month, month and a half. It's almost there. It looks like far away, but I don't know what's happening, but for me, it's like the weeks are happening like really fast.
I agree. We, Cora, the other race director, and myself, we're like, oh my God, it's so much to do.
Yeah. Thank you, Shona, and have a good day.